Okay, we are live, everybody. My name is Bahzad.
My name is Teresa.
And welcome to the Wonder Looper live stream, the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. And we're broadcasting live from Yokohama, Japan. It is Saturday, May the 3rd for us, Friday, May the 2nd for many of you. Thank you for tuning in with us. We had a little 1 week vacation there, and we're back again to let you know what we've been up to, all the stuff that's been going on here in Wonder Looper Land, answer your questions live, maybe take a few hot takes. So if you've got a hot take that you guys want us to tackle, let us know in the chat below, and let us know where you are tuning in from all around the world. All right. Okay, let's see here. We've got Solvents. Hello from Scotland. I hope you guys enjoyed your trip. We sure did. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we had a great time in Scotland. And Minois Maxim says, I once had a half French, half Scottish, blonde, blue-eyed girlfriend. She was so beautiful the day she asked me out before dating apps were a thing. I genuinely felt like the luckiest guy on earth.
That's nice.
Well, there you go. That does sound very nice. For the shy guys out there waiting for the girls to ask you out, it's a nice thing. It's a nice thing. And he says, continues on, seriously considering visiting the place, discovering the architecture, the landscapes, the country roads, and the tweeds. Indeed, the tweeds. We did get some material. Was it a tweed?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know the actual definition of tweed, but I would call it a tweed.
All right. Well, then we fulfilled our need.
But tweed.
For tweed. That's right. BT says, good morning. I misjudged the weather after a day of rain, and I discovered I indeed made the wrong call with my double heavyweight tee and double heavyweight hoodie. Thankfully, the tee went with a generic jacket. It is that questionable time of year. Sometimes it's gray and gloomy out there, and you get outside a couple hours later, you got the sun. You know what to do. But luckily, hopefully we'll have some more consistent, warmer weather soon. KMX, happy Friday. Tuning in from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Good to see you, my friend. The Catman. Tuning in from hot Raleigh, North Carolina. Toddler is asleep. Cold beer is cracked. Brown Fox, Naked Famous Jeans, Wonder Looper, Ecru ELS on with a Heather Gray ELS on the way. Fantastic. That does sound like the cozy way to wind down the week. We've got the Mikhail evening from New York City, 80 degrees Fahrenheit here, 26. Perfect for some Super Looper shorts. It is. Risa was rocking her shorts a lot lately.
At home, yeah.
Yeah, it's short weather here in Japan. We've got Alejandro in the house. Good to see you, my friend Alejandro Jomar. You may remember he made a special guest appearance here on the Wonder Looper live stream not too long ago, and we appeared on his channel as well. We've got Unbleached here. Hello from warm and sunny New York City. We've got a lot of New Yorkers here in the house. All right, and Alejandro Jomar waving the Puerto Rican flag here. Very good. Pecco Inc., are you guys planning to restock the oatmeal Foxfibre zip-up hoodies?
Yes, in the fall.
That's right. So, fall production. I guess we could just talk about that a little bit right now. For fall, we have Foxfibre, fleeced Foxfibre. We got double heavyweight Foxfibre and double heavyweight French Terry Foxfibre and double heavyweight French Terry. So those are our fall fabrics, which we restock once a year in the fall. And then for spring summer, we have our Super Looper. So that's the spring summer sweatshirt. So those, they don't get carried all year round. You know, we do a production and the inventory lasts as long as it lasts, but it's not something that we consistently restock throughout the year. I think especially for some of the coat, like the warmer, like the fleeced Foxfibre or the double heavyweight French Terry, it just doesn't make sense for, to have it in the middle of spring and summertime. It's just not going to sell so well. So we try to have that in time for the weather that you're going to be enjoying it. Okay. Sam Perez, hello from California. Yay. Can't wait for the baby Cashmere. That's right. Baby Cashmere. Baby Cashmere pre-orders ended a couple of days ago. So we've got the wheels in motion now. We had some production meetings recently. It's all underway. So we hope to have those out to you guys. Well, it's not going to be soon. It's going to be later.
Right.
Later than sooner, but sooner than later, if you know what I mean. Right, sort of in time for the holiday season, the cold weather, when you're going to enjoy it the most.
The challenge of that production is going to be, well, it was that we didn't know how many we're going to make. And therefore, because it's tsuriyami, that takes a long time. And, there aren't that many, machines that we can just get in and use up. So that means that we don't, we moved quickly enough, hopefully, that the delivery would be in the colder times, or at, the start of the colder times, like start of the holiday season kind of thing. But we just, we didn't know how many we were going to make, and now we know, and then now we're going to really secure the path. So it's a kind of up in the air, but we'll keep you posted for those of you who ordered. Thank you very much. We'll keep you guys posted.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, hopefully you all did, and you follow us on Instagram. Let's go over to the Instagram. Hold on a second. Here we go. Biggity bam. Oh, look at that guy. There's something wrong with the Instagram app. Weird. Anyhow, that's me, as you can see. I'm rocking the baby Cashmere here in the hangar, in the plane hangar. Some people thought I had bought an airplane because I'm so rich. I did not. This is not my airplane. I just posed with the airplane, although I did get inside and learn a little bit about how it works. But I have to say that what we fired up the engine of the plane, and that wind that's coming back at you, it's so cold, and that baby Cashmere really felt great. I have to say, it really kept me warm in that position. I had to put my hood up, I tied it up, and it felt amazing. I'm very glad I was wearing that and not just a t-shirt out there.
To be fair, if you went up in there, maybe you would have needed another layer.
Maybe. I think I probably could have handled it with that.
Just a short flight.
Yeah, short flight. I'm not for like a 2-hour flight, but short flight, I think it would have been okay. But it was fun to wear it. We did a little photo shoot out there in Scotland, and it went really well. I have to say that one thing, just talking about our Scotland trip, we were there last week, only there for 6 or 7 days, something like that, and incredible. Just one of the, we were there once before and only for a couple of days, so we didn't get to see too much. We were in Edinburgh for a day, and then we were sort of in the countryside. But I didn't realize how hilly and mountainous Scotland was until we got there this time, because we got to see a lot more of the country. And it just made for just some beautiful photos and photo opportunities. It was quite gray and gloomy, as you could tell from some of the photos out there, but I think it added, to the mood of the photos quite a lot. Elaine asked, what is your go-to travel outfit? Risa, I'll let you start with that one. Go-to travel outfit.
Jeans, because I don't have to have too many of them, and just wear the same jeans every day. I also like my jeans loose, especially when I'm traveling. Sitting on an airplane for a long period of time, I want to be comfortable. On top, I tend to layer. I will bring a bunch of t-shirts, and then I will just put on a couple hoodies that are just just neutral colors that goes with everything else. I this time I brought the oatmeal police Foxfibre and Super Looper in black, semi-black, so that I can just interchangeably, mix and match with other things.
Yeah, very practical.
Yes.
Yeah. For me, travel outfit, again, it's going to be jeans or some kind of army trousers. I've been really wearing a lot of army trousers lately. I picked up a couple more we were at some sort of thrift market fair while we were out there. I got some secondhand, some surplus army trousers for only £5 a piece. It was a great deal. So I like things with quite a lot of pockets and something that's going to be roomy. Yeah, I got to be comfortable on that plane because usually when we're flying long haul. It's not a lot of 1 hour flights for us. Especially from this part of the world, wherever we're going, is usually minimum 6 hours. Usually 12 hours or more. So we got to be comfortable. And up top, t-shirt. It depends. If it's a long flight, sometimes I'll go double heavyweight and then a hoodie on top. This time I did the ELS recycled cotton slub tee with hoodie on top. On my way there, I did the double heavyweight Foxfibre. And on the way back, I did the super looper.
I forgot to mention, I really enjoyed having the double heavyweight long sleeve t-shirt on this trip to Scotland. It was, it was a little chilly, and double heavyweight, it's long sleeve t-shirt, so you could wear it, you can still wear it like a hoodie over it, but on its own, it's still long sleeve, hefty weight, keeps you like the base layer warm.
Right.
So, yeah. Good thing to have.
Devin says, will the waffle Henley only come in button-up option, or will there be a no-button run?
Just would be Henleys.
Yeah, just Henleys.
Yeah, that fabric is going to be only available in Henley.
Yeah.
Henley meaning
with the buttons. Yeah, but going back to the airplane go-to travel outfit, pullover hoodie, I like it because I also have that front pocket. Because when I sit in the plane, I don't like having stuff in my pockets on my sides, just because it kind of gets uncomfortable after a while. So I put everything in the front pocket. That kangaroos, you got your passport, your wallet, your phone. Lost my wallet on this trip. Just
well, after this trip.
After this trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost it from between the airport and home. Disappeared. So, anyhow, if you find my wallet out there, anybody, just let me know. It's been I spent like half the day yesterday. I tore this house up looking for that wallet. It is gonzo. And I just got all my brand new I just got a bunch of brand new credit cards, all from Canada too. So like now I have to get those back.
Japan too.
And Japan. And then I also got my permanent resident card. Just got it. So all these cards anyways. I hope it shows up, but I don't know where it is. Think says it's Japan, so it'll probably turn up.
That's what I was hoping for, but it's been a couple days, and we did contact everybody that we needed to contact.
Yeah, we made a report, so I don't know. We'll see.
But weirdly, it's not like our credit card has not been used or anything like that. And nowadays you don't need a PIN; like you could just tap it.
Right.
So if somebody
was malicious,
then they probably would have used it by now.
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing. Maybe just in a crack of something somewhere.
Yeah. Just additionally, I have to say that I've had that wallet for almost 20 years now. It's lasted so long. And I think 2 or 3 years ago, we were in a thrift store here in Japan, and I found the exact same wallet brand new. It was just a card holder. And I bought it. And I'm like, one day I'm going to need this. And that day has come. Unfortunately, that day has come. Nicholas says, sounds like you need Mike at Wild Frontier Goods to make you a new wallet. That's rough, though. That also crossed my mind. That definitely also crossed my mind. Mike at Wild Frontier Goods makes amazing leather goods. My passport holder and your passport holder is made by Mike over there. Does some great work. But yeah, it's just, I've had that wallet for so long, I'm so used to it. But maybe I'll get Mike to copy it. That's an option. And put it in more premium material. Anyways, that's something to consider. But, yeah.
Maybe I know that you like how thin and, just smooth that is, but it might be the problem that it just slips out.
Maybe.
You say you didn't lose it for 20 years.
I've never lost my wallet in my whole entire life. I never lose anything.
Yeah, I'm rarely ever lose anything.
Like, I've never lost a phone. The only phone that ever went missing once was like when I was in high school and somebody swiped my phone from the DDR machine, Dance Dance Revolution. Somebody took it. They just straight up took it. I wasn't very happy with that. But, yeah. Anyhow, heartbreaking. But at least I have the same wallet, so I feel like nothing has changed. And once I get all the cards replaced, it'll all look...
That would take, like, a couple months, I would...
They get all the cards replaced?
It's just there's so many, like, bureaucracy that you have to go through here.
Sure. Oh, that's going to be a real pain.
Yes.
It's going to be a real pain for
looking forward to it.
One of us more than the other. Risa does a lot of my paperwork here for obvious reasons. So yeah, I shall not lose my wallet ever again or important paperwork. I could have lost my passport. That would have been a real problem.
If you lost both of like your passport and resident card, then you would have been screwed. I don't know what you would have done, honestly.
Yeah. So anyhow, please everybody send some good vibrational energy our way and make the wallet appear. Let's will it to existence.
Right here.
Oh, that'd be amazing. But that said, I've always had my stuff in my front pouch pocket. Never lost it before.
Yes, that might be not the best advice at this point.
I'm still going to advise it. One bad apple doesn't spoil the bunch.
If not, like anything, it's nice to like put your hand in there, just goes up and fall asleep.
Yeah. You know what else helped on the flight? The double heavyweight French terry. Having that hoodie on, having the hood just around your neck, it just gave a nice little extra neck support. I felt like it was very comfortable there.
I just feel that it wouldn't really work that way, but it keeps my neck warm. So the problem with air travel sometimes is that like the temperature inside the plane goes down and it goes up.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of up in the air and
up in the air.
Yeah. So it's nice to have a extra coziness around you.
Yes.
Regardless.
Yeah. So there's some plain travel wardrobe advice. Pack a hoodie, pack a decently heavy t-shirt for the flight. I do find, because sometimes you get on a hot flight, but more often than not you get on a cold flight. Yeah, we had one hot flight on this trip, and it was a little uncomfortable, but usually it's quite cold, especially on the long hauls. But yeah. Okay. Sullivan says, I got my double heavyweight long sleeve from Jean Store today. Such a nice t-shirt. Yes, it is. It like Risa said, it is really good for some of those like mid-temperature days. Like on the plane, or like when we were in Scotland, I mean, the temperature was fluctuating around like 10 to 15, and like, not quite cold enough to like warrant like a heavy sweater, but a t-shirt might have been a little bit too lightweight, but the long sleeve just really does the job, especially on the double heavyweight weight. Devin Hurt says, I never put stuff in basketball or terry shorts. Pockets will lose everything. Yeah, well, those pockets tend to be a little bit loose on shorts. Yeah. Ronaldo says, hoping you find your wallet soon somewhere, maybe in the laundry basket or drawer. Fingers crossed, my friends. Fingers crossed. RB says, the Super Looper was perfect for a recent flight I took. There you go. Perfect. We've got some customer testimonials there for you. Can we get an Ultimate Pima hoodie for summer then? Ultimate Pima hoodie. Like a Super Looper Ultimate Pima. That's something that I don't think a lot of people have ever done, where they use like an EL, because ELS will sometimes give you that like kind of silky finish on a t-shirt, and you don't really get that from hoodies, right?
Well, the thing is, like, the benefit of that would maybe show up on the front end, but on the inside, terry part, you wouldn't like necessarily benefit from that. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I feel like you want a little more fuzziness, a little bit more,
Yeah, less
I mean?
silky.
Like,
Yeah. I'm not sure. You know what? The next time we're at the production meeting, let's ask if they've ever done, because when we go to our production meetings, we go to the mill and they have, I mean, as far as swatches go, I mean, tens of thousands. Every fabric they've ever produced, they've got a swatch of it somewhere. So, I'll ask them if they've ever done like an ELS, like a French terry or something like that before, because I would like to feel it. It's a good question. It's a good question. I just wonder what kind of sweatshirt it would produce, or like if it's going to sort of produce a sweatshirt that you really want.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
homework
because it's an expensive cotton. Like, is it like worth it for it to be used as in that way?
Right. Because like for a t-shirt, I get it. Right, because sometimes you want that like sort of dressier looking shirt, and
just when it's flat, you feel the silkiness. You want the silkiness. It's nice, smooth.
Yeah.
But like the French terry, it's just by nature is not going to be smooth.
Yeah.
And whether like you want the pile parts to be like
silky. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I don't know. That it's a real thinker. Mm-hmm. That's a good question. I like those kinds of questions. Milo says, what color is the t-shirt you have on? The Foxfibre brown. That's right. This is the Fox 70B from the latest batch here. With the latest batch, if you've been paying close attention, you know that this batch was rinse washed. So the previous batches were a little bit drier to the touch compared to these. I would say that over time, with wash and wear, the previous batches would get to like this level of softness, but these start off real soft real fast. It's that commercial laundry that that really does the job here. And boy, you will notice the difference. If you've had Generation 1 versus Generation 2, you're going to notice the difference. These do come out a bit softer.
Right. Yeah. But also, more importantly, the shrinkage is mostly out of the way, so we don't have to worry about it. Not that we have any more of these t-shirts to sell. But if you're looking for it, I checked.
No. Well, a lot of so we sold out on our website pretty quickly.
Yeah. And I checked a couple of the retailers. They still had it like yesterday morning.
Denali had a couple. Okay. Tati and Yoko sold out.
Okay.
I think Iron Pyrite Productions had a couple.
Okay.
But importantly, Standard and Strange and Blue Owl haven't released their goods yet. Mm-hmm. So I don't know when. I asked them. I don't know when they're going to have their launch. I asked them to let me know so I can let you guys know. So if you missed out, definitely check out the our customer stockist list. But if you check our latest newsletter, which you should all be subscribed to the newsletter, by the way. There's a lot of good information there. I put a whole list of all the retailers that got this latest release and which fabrics they got and which colors. So you have the entire list there available. I still think if you're looking for one right now, you should probably be able to find one. But if not, Standard and Strange, Blue Owl, soon. Once I have information, you will get it as well. Okay. Pecco says, any surprise restock on the Foxfibre tees? The only restocks you're gonna see on this is going to be if someone does a return or an order cancellation. Like we've packed up about half the shipments, half the orders by now. If somebody sends us an email and says, hey, I changed my mind or, whatever, that item is going to go back into stock. So here's a pro tip. This is coming straight from a pro. Let's go over here to wonderlooper.com. This is everybody's favorite website. You should bookmark this and have it as your starting page every day. Wake up with a nice cup of...
We don't even have it as that.
Shh. But anyhow, what you should do is if you like something and it's out of stock, sold out, click on the product itself, pick your size, right? Whatever size you're looking for, email me when available, put your information in here, and you're going to get an email when that item comes back into stock. So if there is a return, if there is an order cancellation, that email is going to go out to you. You're going to have to act fast because you're probably not the only one on that list, but at least you have a chance. If you got to play to win. So just throw your email in there and you're in the game. This also, by the way, if you see something is sold out, this also helps us gauge customer interest. So when we are doing like the next batch of production, we look at how many customers have, requested that back in stock notification. We can see the size breakdown. We can see the popular sizes, and it helps us better determine how much we need to bring in. What sizes are the best sizes? The way we do our production planning in terms of the size breakdown. So this is actually very useful for us, which ends up being useful for you. So if there is something that you want that you don't see on the website, throw your name in the hat. You never know; it might come back in the stock, but at the very least, it serves as like good data for us, so that we can better serve you guys.
Mm-hmm. But just full disclosure, like we look at this when we plan production, but that's months ahead of time. So things can change between then and there. And I actually, like, for this batch of Foxfibre t-shirts, I knew this wasn't going to be necessarily enough. We actually had a little bit of shortage in production window. We got less than what we wanted, like what we, made. But yeah, without that also, it's like it would have been like not enough. And that was because like when we planned the production, we thought we had enough, and then it's just like this snowball.
Yeah, but you see, right, exactly. So as you said, we plan the production months in advance based off of the information we have at that time, and then by the time this came out, we look at the back in stock notification and we see, okay, there's a lot of people on this list. This probably isn't going to last very long. But then that'll also then help us the next time we do the production lot, because if you just go based on sales alone, the data
limited to what had.
Your data set is just what you sold. It doesn't show what you didn't sell. This at least shows us what we didn't sell, and so that helps us plan a little bit better. So that's the better we can plan, the maybe we can have inventory for longer than 40 minutes. I just remember the first time we released this T-shirt, and we sold out. Like we did a live release
in minutes.
Yeah,
like it wasn't 40 minutes. Yes.
So it lasted longer. But
we improved.
Yeah, we've definitely improved.
Pat ourselves on the back.
Nicholas says, what's your most popular size? I guess is the question. Medium and large.
Yes, I think large large outsells medium, I think, for us.
Yeah, I think that's sort of it's just small, medium, large, XL, double XL. I think double XL outsells extra small. We do sell extra small, but it's not as popular. But
small and extra small is always kind of like, it's like I think that there might be a little bit, like extra small is a good size for, me-sized person. So, if we only make in men's sizes. So like if you're like, a woman, likelihood is that like maybe you fit in this extra small world a little bit more. But it's just, we don't have enough of that. And then it's like, the curve starts I think for a lot of men, the curve starts like at small, like with the same level as double XL. But then like that small sales gets split into like extra small and small. I don't know. Anyways, it's just like I always feel like we don't have enough larger sizes. But in the past, when we're looking at it, it's just like, is it like we get stuck with smaller sizes sometimes at the end, towards the end because we don't need them, or because it always sells out.
Right.
You know, so I don't know. I was just like, every time we do this planning, I just like...
The fringe sizes are always the most difficult.
Right? Yeah. So double XL, like, I realized that in the previous fall, like fall last year, we had a bunch of double XL in sweatshirts.
Right.
And so maybe our you know, T-shirts, in our T-shirts, there's a lot more double XL people.
Maybe.
But maybe those people don't really necessarily want it loose, like, as...
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways.
It's hard to figure these things out, but, you know, it's a lot of guesstimation here.
Oh, 100%.
Mr. Lawmaster101 says, double XL for 2020's bagginess. 2020's bagginess? Were you there for 2008 bagginess? Were you there for... Man, remember tall tees? Anybody? I'm sure there's a couple of people in this crowd that remember tall tees. Those were amazing. I'd see them at Foot Locker and stuff, and they'd have these... It's very like streetwear hip-hop style, and you get the tall tees, and like the t-shirts go down to your knees. And then you'd have the baggy jeans that you would basically start wearing at your knees. It was I'm going to go with an unusual style, not my taste, but anyhow, I think it was definitely a style. A lot of people rocked that. But yeah, I don't think we'll ever get into tall tee lands. But there is this one guy on Instagram. He's what's his name again? He's like the time traveler. He's like a hip hop guy from like 2005, and so he dresses all 2005 like style. And
it must be hard to do these days.
Oh, he's amazing! Like he goes to like these markets and he finds like all the jeans with like all the team patches on the jeans and everything. That guy is the best. He's so funny, and like he'll go to like WrestleMania and he's like, "Who are these guys?" Or he'll go to a Raptors game. He's like, "Where's Vince Carter?" It's great. He's so funny. McKinley says, get them at your local corner market, $10 tall tees. Rip them out of the bag and rock it to wherever you're going. I'm sure there's a surplus. Somebody's got a warehouse full of tall tees right now. Dead stock. That's been around forever. I would say that if you used it for beach wear, like ladies, that could be a thing,
Or like sleeping.
I
would probably like to sleep in that kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it was a weird time. A lot of things going on then, but
yeah, I don't know if that's actually gonna come back like it did for, other trends.
You know what? I keep seeing a lot of like, oh, this is back and this is back, and nothing is ever back. Right?
Not in the massive way that,
right. True Religion jeans or Ed Hardy, or like there is this like every now and then I get this like, oh, this is back, and I'm like, no, it's just not. Yeah. Like the way those things were back then, it was completely mainstream. And now like when you see it, it's maybe some one guy on Instagram, but like if you're walking down the street, you're not seeing every other person wearing those brands. Certainly you see a lot of baggy jeans. A lot of young guys are wearing baggy jeans now. But it's not the same.
Trends are a little more subtle and varied. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Like it's more just different kinds. Like, back in the days when we were watching the same TV shows, right. All of us.
Yes.
Meant that we all wore the same thing. Yeah. It's like we all had the similar idea of what.
That's true. We were all programmed in the same culture. Like it was, I'm just thinking like Jersey Shore and like Simple Life and Von Dutch hats, and to be fair, I did wear True Religion jeans for a minute. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I was in and out quick.
Right.
I was in and out quick. I vividly remember. The day I stopped wearing my True Religion jeans. There was a podcast I listened to, and it was a streetwear sneaker podcast. I was really into sneakers, and the podcasters on that show were ripping on True Religion jeans, just ripping on them, like making fun of them so hard. And I'm listening to this on my iPod on the bus, wearing my True Religion jeans, and being like, uh-oh. This isn't good. And I'm like, I'm done. There we go. I'm out of these things. No way. And that was it. and later on in life, I actually met the guy who his name was Jeff Carvalho. I met him. We got to know each other a little bit, and I remember telling him that story, and yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, True Religions. Every now and then, I'm like, oh, they're back. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see them in that way.
It feels forced.
Yeah, it feels forced, right? Like True Religion jeans and like giant crystally studded belts.
Oof. Thank God those days are over.
Yeah. Even like the young kids who wear like they're into like the vintage nostalgia. Like they're not really in it for like
because they think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think they do it because they think they want to be different.
Right. Like when I was young, I liked 70s style. Mm-hmm. Right. I really liked, to be fair, that 70s show probably influenced me a lot. So,
watching that show like as it was.
Oh, yeah. Right. And I'm just thinking like that show came out in the 90s and like that's just 20 years past, right? Mm-hmm. And, I like the flared jeans. I like the tight shirts, with the, I get some kind of funky collared stuff sometimes. And, like, I really loved it. LOL Master says 70s cringe. No. I disagree. I like the 70s. I like the 60s. I think that those eras, fantastic.
Yeah, I also like that it was like a style that you can actually really recognize.
Yeah.
Like, like 2020 style. Like it's very hard to pinpoint.
Right. Yeah. 1980s, you're saying 1980s is the GOAT, greatest of all time? I don't know about that. I just remember in the 90s, because the 90s and early 2000s, that's my formative years, we made fun of the 80s a lot. The 80s was sort of the butt of the joke. Like, that was the worst. And I'm going to go with I disagree, because I don't think it was the worst. I think it's very 80s. Very 80s. Mm-hmm. But 60s, 70s, like 50s, 60s, 70s, very distinctive styles. Mm-hmm. And I think we started to lose that once sort of the 2010s came around. The early 2000s, you have that, I'm going to call it the LA fashion wave, that hit. The Ed Hardys, the crystal jeans, like designer jeans, that sort of look. Jeans and blazers, that was big. Remember that? Jeans, blazers, and a hoodie. And a Ed Hardy trucker hat. That was the Ashton Kutcher special. There you go. Nicholas Vilpu says, I'm currently almost done rewatching that 70s show. Too bad that 90s show was a bust. I haven't watched that 90s show. I remember, this is some deep, when that 70s show was on, I guess they saw that it was so popular that they tried to make that 80s show. And I think they made like 5 episodes of it, and that was it.
Like after the 70s?
While it was still on. Oh. So they're like, okay, here's another show. Yeah, here's another, And that just never happened.
Interesting. I watched the 70s show with you, like, for the first time in 2010s.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, late 10s. When we were in Canada. And, the great thing about that, like, themed show is that, like, it doesn't age badly, It's like, it's...
Right.
It's...
Because it's a period,
yes,
right?
It's kind of like Mad Men,
right.
Just, like, it's such a, like, a iconic thing. And it's, like, you can recognize it as that, so you don't feel like you're watching an old show.
Right. It's not like watching Leave It to Beaver. You've never watched Leave It to Beaver. Yeah. Or, like, maybe... The Brady Bunch or something like that.
I have never watched
The Partridge Family. No, I watched all those shows when I was a kid. I liked all of them.
But, I love what do you call it? Like Friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But it has aged. It's very, like, I still love it, and it didn't age badly, but it did age. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, we'll watch episodes. You know what? One thing I like about Friends is that, of course, as you watch it, as you get older, you really relate with the show very differently. Because when I was young, the characters are all older than me, so it was kind of fun to watch them progress. And then I got to being their age, and you feel like, I felt a little bit like Rachel, like trying to. She was working up her way in the department store, like in the luxury department store world, and I was in that world, so I liked it a lot. And then you would see, like, for example, like these speakers right here. Those were featured on Friends. If you've got a good eye, you might notice them. But sometimes it's kind of cool to see some old gadgets and things, TiVos and stuff that they've got that really brings back the feel. Sean says, watching on the KO train to Mount Takao during my vacation in Japan. All right. Oh. Well, thank you very much. Watching live in Japan. Thank you. Riff says, joining in late from Chicago. Very excited for my ultimate Pima black tea. Not sure if it was the smartest idea with a baby who spits up and a furry golden retriever who sheds. Still worth it. I will say that the black tea is better for the spit up, but not better for the fur.
But spit up usually is a lighter color. It's not gonna be dark colored spit up. It's a baby, they're spitting up milk and scoop. So I think lighter color actually. But I mean, it's hard to maintain white.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's okay. It'll be messy in comfort.
It's gonna be like clean.
Yeah. That's true. It is tough with the babies around.
But
for sure.
You can, like the surimi teas, it can withstand the washes and that you're gonna be doing every day.
That's right.
So,
yeah, they'll hold up well. David says Friends did have one of the best theme songs. I'm going to go with, yes, the Rembrandts. I Will Be There For You.
It's very iconic.
Probably one of the most played songs in history. That and It's a Small World After All. That is definitely the most played song in all of history.
Yeah.
Can you imagine another song that is played more than that? That song is played every day at every Disney, all day, on repeat.
That's true.
Yeah.
But so is a lot of other songs that's played there. Like every ride has a song or, a tune.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to go with It's a Small World. Also, love that song. Love that ride.
The ride is great.
I love that ride. It's a great ride. Jeremy Sim says, are you wearing the upcoming Naked and Famous denim work shirt? No, this is an old Naked and Famous denim easy shirt in the slub rinse nep denim. I remember we made this shirt. It was my favorite shirt, and then the mill discontinued the fabric, and we could never get it just right again. I was so mad because I loved this shirt. I wanted to run this shirt forever.
Well, that was the plan,
Yeah.
and then the next season was we're running this again, right? And it's actually the fabric is.
I don't know.
Oh, we have to find it because we want to keep running it.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a disaster. I remember.
I love this shirt. If you could find one of these, get it. Get many. It's a great denim shirt. It's important to have a nice button-up sport collar button shirt in your wardrobe. And so, anyways, we made it, but sometimes you're not always in full control. Sean is also asking about our store, if we have a storefront in Japan yet. No, not yet.
Not yet.
So
we're working on it.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be a full-on storefront. I wouldn't
Yeah.
call it that. But it would be an appointment only. Sure.
Yeah, it'll be somewhere where you can come to shop, but it won't be like a regular store, so to speak. That said, in the newsletter, if you read it, we got rejected yet again. It is, I just feel like the NBA Jam guy is just rejected, like every single shot we take. But there are more opportunities around for us. So
we are running out of time.
Yeah, we need to get in somewhere sort of by the summer, so that we're set up to receive the fall goods, and the fall goods are going to be coming in
the summer,
starting in the summer. So we got to get moving. So that is something that we are working on, and once it is set up, it's looking like we have our eyes on a Yokohama home base right now. So it will be out of central Tokyo, but it won't be too far to get to. Again, hopefully, this weekend we're working on it. Hopefully, we get this one.
Yeah, well, I'm actually very excited. I think we talked about Yokohama a bit, but it is a nice spot. Like, we're minutes away from like really beautiful scenery.
Yeah.
So like, my thing is that like we can just step out and take some really nice photos. That's just with great scenery.
Yeah.
And if some of you guys come to visit, like as a visitor in Japan, you may not like plan to like Yokohama may not be the city that you're planning to go to.
Yeah.
But it's only 30 minutes away from Shibuya and whatnot.
You'll be glad you came.
Yeah, because it's a whole different world.
Yeah. Yeah, like when you come visit Wonder Looper. You go check out the ramen museum, right?
Which I haven't been.
I've never been, but a lot of people go,
Yes.
and
we will definitely set up like
things to do in Yokohama
around
list.
this area kind of thing. So
there's
it will be worth your trip.
Yeah, there'll be the Minatomi Rai, experience. There's like a little amusement park there, some great shopping malls.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
There's beautiful
Parks and seafront and
and
Chinatown.
in Japan you can drink in public, so
Yeah.
you can just get a canned beer and just enjoy it with the view of the port, which is fantastic.
There you go. So we'll make it worth your while if you come out all the way to Japan to come and visit us. So we are working on it, but yeah, it is interesting because we started this hunt like late last year.
Like fall last year.
Yeah. And just nonstop
Fall last year because that was the time that we were just buried under
boxes.
Yeah.
So hopefully coming soon. Devin Hurt says, that pen you love, is there a metal version? Speaking of pens, hold on, let me just get the pen.
Yes. We've been including in our latest shipments
the new goodie, the new giveaway.
Yeah.
So this is the pen in question. If you guys aren't subscribed to the Instagram, then you don't know about this pen. But you should all be subscribed to the Instagram if you haven't done that yet.
Sometimes even if you are following us, you might miss this
right
sort of post.
So the new Wonder Looper refillable plastic fountain pen made by Craft Design Technologies and Pentel. So made in Japan pen, beautiful pen. It's got a great fine, hold on there. There we go. We got a fine tip on that one. It's going to give you a smooth ride every time. And these are included with every order right now while supplies.
Pen.
Yeah, it is a fancy pen. And we got the nice Wonder Looper branding on there. So this is going to be included with every order for while supplies last. Mm-hmm. And is there a metal version of this pen? No. But
no, I mean, the whole point of this is it's a plastic fountain pen.
Right.
And it's just, it's a very well made, I have to say. Yeah. This is such a good pen.
Yeah. But if you are into stationaries, I love my stationery. You should definitely check out Craft Design Technology. Their products are sold around the world, and they do have some metal pens, writing tools. They are not. Some of them are inexpensive. Some of them are pricey. I do have a Craft Design, like this one's like American dollars. How much is that? I don't know, like $35 maybe, $30. So they range. I have a chrome pencil from them that's really nice, but they've got all kinds of really cool pens. This is the one that we made here, yeah, that's no, that's not the one. It's a similar one that has a little bit of a different end, but anyhow, check out their website. They've got a lot of
they
cool
work
products.
with like actual pen. This one, for instance,
Pentel.
is made by Pentel. And like they're a design company that works with like actual like manufacturers of, stationery. So like the quality of things is top notch. These people make a lot of, they know what's up. So
yeah, this is one that I got. This chrome one, really cool. It says it's I think somewhere it said it's not made anymore, but sold out. But this is a really cool pen that they made. But Pentel still may make this on its own, but this maybe they don't have it in chrome. I'm not really sure. But yeah, we got these made by them. And what'd you do? You wrote Wonder right there. Check out that smooth ride right there.
Mm-hmm. It is a very nice writing experience.
Yeah.
If you write on things, you might enjoy it.
Yeah, I hope
Let us know how you feel about this pen.
Yes,
If
I would
you get it.
maybe
You will
write
get
us a
it.
letter, a handwritten note.
letter.
Yeah. McKinley says, outside of packing up orders, how will you guys be spending Golden Week? We don't have any major plans.
No, we have smaller plans. We're meeting up with some people.
Oh, the good people at Cultism are in town, so we're going to be meeting with them.
We'll be meeting with them. We have some, we have some smaller day plans with friends, but mostly we have to really catch up on work. We did take a vacation, and the way it worked was that we returned home at night on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday morning at 8 a.m. we launched the t-shirts, the Foxfibre Ultimate Pima long sleeve double heavyweight, and because we launched at 8 a.m. here time, like we started packing the order that morning.
Yeah.
And we've just been nonstop since
Yeah.
then, and because we were away for a week, there were a lot of things that needed to be dealt with also, and that's just
I've watched a total of 0 minutes of television since we've gotten home. It literally, we got home from the airport, I took off my bags, got to the desk, started writing emails, answering emails, getting everything on my end as ready as we can for the next morning. The next morning, wake up, answer emails, just get ready for the release, and then as soon as we do a release, we start getting flooded with emails because, can you change my size? I ordered this is wrong. Can you fix my address? Yada yada, all that stuff. So we're behind the computer for about an hour and a bit, just nonstop, fixing stuff. Then to the warehouse, picking, packing. It's been wild.
And then because we had basically like 2 days of picking and packing. And then starting today, it's a holiday. So for the next 4 days, we wouldn't have it's a holiday. So we can't ship. And that means that people who haven't gotten the shipping notification yet, you won't get it until Tuesday your time, I think. Maybe something like that. Anyways, we'll try our best, but I know that there's a little bit of a major delay. We get like, our aim was that like we at least like ship out most of the orders that came in like right after the release.
Yeah.
But because there were so many right after the release, like we didn't get through it. On yesterday. So we'll work hard.
We're gonna work.
Next week will be very. Just bear with us. Is what I'm saying. Especially with the embroidery, like we have to get the orders out and then do the embroidery too. And after that,
yeah. Risa's been like when we come home at night. Like Risa's at her like chain stitching station, like in like it's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and Risa's stitching.
Yes, I was up till I think 2:30 last night.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of downtime right now. Like release time is always very, very busy for us, but FedEx said that they would come do a Tuesday pickup for us.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work through the weekend, pack like today, tomorrow. Maybe not too much today because there's a couple things to do. But tomorrow and Monday we're gonna pack a lot of orders. So you'll probably get a shipping notification, but you won't see the pickup happen until Tuesday.
Yeah.
So hopefully everything is out the door by then, except the embroidery. We'll try to get as much embroidery out by the end of next week, basically. We're not going to guarantee it, but it's coming.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
And it's like, coming as we work on it. So we can't promise anything.
Yeah.
But So, it's just, this is the difficulty with running this whole show with just
a two-man operation. Yeah. That's it. So Nicholas says, any plans for Golden Week? Yes. Our plan is to get your orders out the door. And that'll make it a golden week for us. So there you have it. I mean, we had our vacation last week.
That's true.
So,
but I mean, it's everybody's off and it's the nice weather.
Yeah.
It's hard to just cooped up in the house all day. So we do have some fun plans, but not too much.
Yeah, we can't have that much fun, guys. Okay, somebody mentioned. I don't know where the question was. Oh, here it is. Terp Wizard says, I never saw the long sleeve shirts hit the site. Did I miss them or did they sell out really fast? I heard that from more than one person, and I'm not sure why. So here's what I think happened. So, you go to the website and you go products like double heavyweight t-shirt. See, I moved them to the front, to the top, but what was before, they were at the bottom. Right? But they were always there. Yeah. I think some people might have missed it because maybe it was just sort of at the bottom there. But once I moved it up, I guess I stopped hearing that from people.
Also make sure that it shows on the front page, like at the bottom, latest arrivals
and the currently in stock.
There's a way to get to it. I did not make a fit shop by fit link of long sleeve t-shirts.
Yeah, that might have been it because it was technically here under double heavyweight crew neck t-shirts. Yeah. So anyhow,
I mean it's long sleeve, but it's still t-shirts.
Yeah. So maybe there was some mix up there. I'm not sure. Maybe they were invisible. I don't know, but I did hear from a couple people. But every time I checked, they were there. But if you're still looking for it, it's there on the website. So that's how to find it. Okay. Alain asks, do you guys embroider in Japanese characters?
No.
There you have it.
That's that question I get a lot, and it's not that like it's absolutely impossible, but it's just not what chain stitch is meant for. So it's way more difficult. It's a continuous stroke thing that's why almost all the chain stitch embroidery of letters that you see are always cursive, not block letters. Block letters obviously possible, like anything is possible. It's just that it's a lot harder, and we're set up to do like a very simple embroidery service because it's all me doing it. So we just have to draw a line somewhere, and like we don't do like shapes other than like a line shape. I would do like a heart and stuff like that, but I would have to say no to like those letters that doesn't have a continuous strokes.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, if I missed your question, please ask it again. We've got Pierre Moreau in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Howdy from Guelph. Sorry I'm late. Sweeped up all of Gerhardt's black heavyweight medium tees this week. They are amazing. Thank you very much, sir. I have to say that there's a couple of you out there that do that, and sometimes, like I know there's a couple guys out there like with the double XLs. They'll buy like a lot. Mm-hmm. Give a couple, Spread it out a little. This is, you know,
hoard everything.
Yeah, don't hoard it all. And there's some people think, they're like nobody's reselling it. There's genuinely people out there. I'm gonna say, especially for the XL, double XL crowd, there's not a lot of like products in our realm that that cater to their sizes. So once they found something that works for them, they load up on it. I totally understand that. But yeah, if you're still that there's others like you out there, so
yeah, but at the same time I also understand that if you like some t-shirts, especially t-shirts, like you want to have like 5 of them just so that you can just you're never out when you want to wear it. I get that feeling too. An interesting thing about this release that we always sell more white t-shirts than black t-shirts. And so we had way more white in Ultimate Pima t-shirts. And for this drop, I feel like black did better at first. Yeah. So that black is almost all sold out. We have maybe a couple extra small lying around, but almost everything is gone. Whereas the Ultimate Pima white is still with in full size run. Yeah. Except for extra small actually. Right. Available, which is a weird. Yeah.
Weird turn of events. Yeah. Sometimes you never know. Every release is you've learned something a little bit different. Eric says, favorite books on style/fashion for men. Favorite books. Hold on, let me go check my bookshelf. I got a lot of books on this topic, but do I have a favorite? Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah. You always go.
I always go to the bookshelf.
Bookshelf. Let's see what else is here. Arabic. I'm guessing this is for the embroidery question. I don't know Arabic letters, so I feel a little uncomfortable doing that. Basically, what happens with the letters that we, the embroidery requests that we get is that I see it, I write that, those letters, words, names or whatever, with my own handwriting, and then I'll just, embroider that. So I feel like if it's in Arabic, I would just have to trace it over, and it's a little bit harder for me, to do that. I wouldn't even know if that that looks good or not. The difficulty with languages that I don't understand is that if if some letters are too similar and it looks like something else, I wouldn't be able to tell. So that's also the reason why I tend not to do another language, just so that I can make sure that everything looks the way it's supposed to. Yeah, and it's sorry about all the restrictions. It's just I want to keep the embroidery service alive. But, if it's complicated, if it gets complicated, it's going to be impossible for me to keep it up. So that's why I would just have this very strict rules around it. Yeah. Yeah. Though
we will, once we have a little bit more time, we'll get back to we wanted to make patches.
Yes, that is, yes.
So there might be some area there for a little bit more complexity. Because, I would say that the patches might be a little bit more, in general, the patches will be more complex than a simple chain stitch. Right?
Well, it's more I wouldn't say it's more complicated. It's more stitch time. Yeah. Because the actual stitch part of the cursive, letters is not that long. It's just the
setup.
Yeah, surrounding work is a lot longer. With the patch, I think it would be more stitch time, which I like, but maybe a little bit less we would have a set font. Yeah. That it's just a set thing, so I don't have to figure it out each time. Right. It's there.
Okay. So I mean,
so anyways, this is a whole different discussion. Yeah. We will get to it. We didn't forget. If any of you were looking forward to it.
It's just a matter of time.
Yes.
Okay. So I have I don't know whether these are my absolute favorite books in the world. I don't know, but these are some good books that I would recommend. And of course, coming from the denim background, of course, you got to have some good denim books. This is Blue Blooded here, and this is, it's got great coverage of some fantastic brands, as you guys can tell, because we're Naked and Famous. Naked and Famous is highlighted here quite nicely, but it just goes over like all the different things that you would appreciate as a denim lover. So this is a really, really fun book. Big colorful pages, something nice. And what I do like about it is that it's not just heritage. It goes into 80s and 90s and all the different styles of jeans throughout the history. And sometimes when you go into like a lot of denim talk, it's always like 1940s heritage. But man, it's not just that. It goes into everything. It's got nudie jeans here, and men's and ladies and you name it. So this is a really cool book, Blue Blooded. You can find that on, I think, Amazon. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon, and
you can find it on the internet.
Yeah, on the internet, and So a book I would recommend. Also, this is sort of the follow-up book, and hold on, just want to. Anyhow, The Rebel's Wardrobe, The Untold Story. The Untold Story of Menswear's Renegade Past. So this is a little bit more, heritage focused. And it just goes through all sort of a lot of heritage topics here in the menswear world. So, all the stuff that I would say that I think a lot of us like in this realm is going to be covered in this book. So if you like heritage, that sort of very vintage aesthetic, this is the book that you're going to love.
I like that this book started to fray.
Yeah, it's fading. Yeah, it's getting its own little patina there as well. So I would highly recommend this one, The Rebel's Wardrobe. That's a great book for anybody to own if you're in this space. And then just because I love denim photography, these two are beautiful. The 501XX book, just fantastic photos of jeans, details that you're gonna love. In English and in Japanese, so you can what's going on here, and it's just a beautiful collection of all sorts of vintage jeans. If you love looking at faded jeans, then you certainly will love this book. And then if you like that, you're definitely going to love faded denim jackets. And so this goes through the history of the Levi's type 1, 2, and 3. And you can see here that they've got some great photos and some history too. Even some old price lists, which I think is pretty cool. A great way to reference that stuff. I have a couple, we have an old Sears catalog, and back at the Naked and Famous denim days, we had a bunch of really old Sears catalogs, and it was really cool to see the prices of jeans over time and the way that they would market them. Heavyweight 9-ounce denim, whereas nowadays 9 ounces the summer weight denim, and 20 ounces is what you want if you want some heavyweight bad boys. So there's a couple of books there I would recommend you pick up. And what's also cool about these two is this first denim book is made of denim, as you can tell, but these ones are also, they're not made of denim, but they are sort of textured like denim. So they have this really cool sort of slubby finish to them, which is really neat. So I think you'll get a kick out of these books for sure. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Please take this as a compliment, Slimy Dog says, but your drops will be a reseller item very soon.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, it would.
I haven't seen in our space the boots, the jeans, the leather world. There's a lot of releases that sell out fast, but I haven't seen people reselling these items.
Right, because it is a compliment, and thank you. But it's like that's not our aim, and like we never do like limited edition things so much. I mean, like, you know, Super Looper colors, like we change it up, and you know, details will change, but we basically like repeat the same things. Like if it sells out, that means people like it, then we'll make it again. So
I just find that in the fashion space, there's very few brands that can ever get to the point of I will pay more than retail for it.
Yeah. And that has to do with like exclusivity.
Yeah. Right? It's just hey, you know what? I definitely take it as a compliment. You feel like we'll get there. I just, in my brain, it's like I can think of one brand that really exists in that space, and that's it. I'm sure there may be a couple other little streetwear brands here and there, but yeah, I just don't, given like the amount of like, there's all kinds of like, you know, like even like leather boots, you know, all kinds of really great leather boots that come out. We're gonna make 50 pairs, and like nobody's snatching up 50 to like resell them, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I would see that if that was the case.
Mm-hmm. And I also feel like that needs to be the aim, like that's kind of a design by design. You know, when you know, some things probably just happens like naturally because, you know, maybe some things are really like blowing up at the time or whatever, but most of the time, like, that's just how things are meant to be.
Yeah.
Which I don't really like, but
right. So anyhow, Stanny B says, is it true that Loro Piana has a monopoly over the cashmere supply? Is it hard to source cashmere? I've never heard that.
It's available anywhere.
Yeah.
Uniqlo has cashmere sweaters.
Yeah,
like it's not a like they have all the cashmere in the world, but they are.
They may, let me put it to this, I don't know, because I don't work for them, I don't know. They may have like some exclusive, you know, suppliers, and, you know, as an exclusive supplier, you can't get from that supplier.
Yeah.
But
like,
I don't think so. That,
yeah,
I
like
think,
if you have, you know, it's like, if you have a certain like farm or, you know, like family of like
producers.
Yeah, like, or like goat keepers.
Sure. Yeah, herders, yeah.
Yeah. To work with, maybe that's possible, but the cashmere itself
it's too big of an industry that nobody could hold that down. So I don't is it hard to source? I mean,
it's expensive to source, and it is a commodity pricing thing. So, like, you know, if suddenly cashmere is like blows up in, you know, like the fashion world, then, you know, maybe like the price goes up, and it has been steadily going up, especially in these recent years. I think the cashmere price is just going crazy. I would imagine at some point it would like slow down. I don't know. But I feel like it's also, you know, it's relative. Like, I feel like it's going up a lot because we're working with Japanese yen, and yen power is very weak right now. So that might have something to do with it. Yeah,
it's always tough. You know, every time we have a meeting, it's always like, cotton prices up, cashmere prices up, this commodity is up. There's never in all my years, I've never had this is cheap now. I just remember during the denim days, like, you know, we'd have these meetings, and they'd be like, oh, this cotton price has doubled, and we're like, we all understand that. I'm like, yeah, but the customer doesn't care. Like, the customer is like there's no, like, they're not going to be like, well, these jeans are more expensive now. Oh, that's probably because of the cotton price, right? You know, that connection is never going to happen.
They might connect up to, maybe the cost of, like, you know, labor is higher or whatever, but it's like raw material. Like, it's also very difficult for us to be like, oh, the cotton price went down, so it's gonna, like, our yarn price is gonna go down, right? Like, there's no negotiation there. If they say that cotton price is higher and that this is the price they can do. It's like, I mean, you can like, haggle a little bit maybe, but it's just that's what they say.
Yeah, we don't have the muscle of like a Uniqlo. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like they can squeeze something like, we're not trying to squeeze our suppliers.
They're not immune to like raw material costs going up.
Right.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to give you anything if they're losing money on that.
Right. Yeah. Stuffy McGee says, for the baby cashmere drop, was there enough demand for you to consider another drop, but with a different color?
I would say yes.
I'm going to say yes. It's going to take time because we get like the next color. We have to develop the next. That's a whole process. So we're going to get through. That's probably a topic of discussion with us and the supplier in like a couple of months. But yeah, I would say that.
We want to.
Strongly, this will probably be an annual thing. Like
we want
this is what we want.
Thing.
So we have to. Let's just get through this first batch first. You got things might. Who knows? Is the lead time longer, shorter? We don't know.
Right.
We got to get through this first production first, like fully understand the process here, and then we can have more steady consistency. But even like with everything that we do, it takes a couple of rounds to get things a little bit more steady. And even with these, we can't even keep these in stock. But
but the fall, we are gonna have 2 different colors.
Yes.
So we would split the, sales up a little.
And as far as fall, I think we're gonna be able to like start delivering stuff in like maybe even as early as August.
Depends how we plan things.
Yeah.
I think August is a stretch. August probably is not going to happen because now, as of now, like the delivery schedules I'm looking at, it's like starts late August.
Oh, okay. So maybe
things tend to go later usually, and then we also have to give a retail partner time to set up and all that stuff. So
yeah,
I would say September.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. You know me. I'm always quick. Resa's like, okay, let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't want to overpromise.
Yeah. So between that, you'll get the answer. But we are getting we do have our like production schedule, and I would say that we will probably have mostly everything out by the end of when.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking the realist. The realist.
By the end of October, we should have everything.
All right, so that's good time, right?
I think so. I mean, it's not the earliest, but we also didn't book them early. Like, we were the last brands for a lot of our retail partners to book, and we did have a late start. So I think this is not the bad scenario.
Yeah. Hunter says, so from now until September, we don't have a new thing. Probably not.
I guess not. We might. We will have restock of double heavyweight tees and stuff like that.
But something new.
Unfortunately, but when the new comes, there's going to be
it'll be a tidal wave. So there'll be a lot of new. And I'm going to say that between now and then, it just gives us time to prep for all that stuff. Because we got to do photo shoots. I got to make some videos. There's all kinds of stuff that we got to do.
Also,
we also got to move into a new space.
Right. It's also going to be deadly hot, I'm sure. Nobody wants to think about
fall wear in the middle of July.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So
enjoy your summer. Forget about us.
Yeah.
Except for the weekly live stream.
You definitely want to tune in here. We'll bring the goods. Cathedral says red Pima coming before GTA 6.
Red Pima?
You want a red
t-shirt? Red t-shirt is such a thing that I've never.
Yeah, is there? Sorry, I'm not. I know what GTA 6 is, but I don't understand the connection between a red t-shirt and GTA 6.
Oh, is there one?
Well, there's Grand Theft Auto 6. That was announced.
I know that. I'm with it.
She's with it.
Yes.
But yeah. So I don't know. I'm not sure what that is in full reference to. David Lynn says timing on the Iron Mordant Foxfibre.
Okay, so this is actually the I'm gonna go full on disclosure mode right now.
You're getting it. You're getting it, guys.
Iron Mordant, we heard that it was going to take a lot longer. But our amazing, partner at the knitting mill kind of worked ahead of time, thankfully. So actually, like, the Iron Mordant Foxfibre is coming before everything else. However, we cannot release, just an Iron Mordant Foxfibre t-shirt and then, later on the regular, the 70B and the 15B. It has to be a family, right?
Wait a minute. Does it have to be a family, folks? Does it have to be a family? I just
like having 3 at the same time, and it kind of makes sense. And also, we have to ship to our retail partners. And because the Iron Mordant ones are a little bit more pricier, it's like, most retailer ordered less in quantity. So we can't just ship them like small
batch of t-shirts?
Yeah, it's inefficient.
Okay.
So I feel like we should wait till all 3, is ready to go to release, which...
Stephen Kopelkamp says, my wallet would appreciate a staggered release.
I know. And we will do the staggered release,
like as products.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow.
I don't know. We still have to work on this, scheduling things. Like, the fabrics are being made. Now we really, kind of go in with the sewing part to be, just schedule the whole... factory needs to be booking spaces and all that stuff, so we'll see. I haven't even ordered zippers and whatnot, so gotta get to that.
Okay, so bottom line is probably not, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm happy with that answer. And Chris says, and I'm gonna agree with him. Can you bring back the live releases? I love these.
Yes, yeah. I loved it.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just, and I also think that, it might be, we always had, the releases in North American mornings.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I think, whatever time it is, I think it's fine. But I feel like when we do the release in the morning, which means it's going to be North American night time, evening time.
Yeah.
It kind of works good because Europeans are still up too.
Yeah.
I think if you stay up, it's easier to stay up than wake up early.
Maybe.
For a release, I also think. So, I don't know. I feel like our morning release just kind of...
our morning, your Western evening.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes more sense. That's why we did that this time. And I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah. Was it easier to buy in the nighttime or in the morning time?
Yeah. Because, if it was me, I don't want to have to, get ready to buy something when I'm getting ready to go to work, or
or at
morning
work.
time is hard. So I don't know.
Yeah, let us know. I have no problem changing it a little bit. I had one guy in India was like, oh man, that release is 4 a.m. for me. Yes. I'm like, oh sorry. But I would say that also by the fact that we released it evening time. A lot of North American retailers released in the morning, and even European retailers released in the morning. So
the same date,
yeah.
But they released first.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically all of our retail partners released before us, and we were at the very end. So I feel like in every time zone, you kind of had some coverage, from morning until night.
That is true.
So, yeah. We'll see. But we will bring back we will bring back a live release. Nicholas Vilpu says 8 a.m. Japan time works best for me. Right.
Okay.
Okay, because otherwise it's midnight Japan time when we release, usually 11 a.m. Eastern, right? So, okay. I appreciate that. Anyhow, if you're watching this later, if you have some comments, throw it in the comments below. And if you like us, not our releases, our products, if you just like us, everybody, you know what to do. Hit that like button. I haven't asked you to hit that like button just yet today. So, if you have a like to spare that like.
Even if you don't like us and you just like our products.
Hit the like button.
Yeah.
Tell your friends. call your mom, say, hey, tune into the Wonder Looper live stream right now. They need an extra like. You've got a like to give. So hit that like button. Let's get those likes all the way up into the skyosphere. Lynn says, missed out on the Foxfibre, but glad to see you are selling out. Well, thank you very much. You will have more opportunities to get that Foxfibre t-shirt. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, Standard and Strange and Blue Owl Workshop have yet to release their goods. They do not have a release date set yet. You can ask them. I've asked them, and once they've got that organized, I will let you guys know. I'll make an announcement on the Instagram or in our newsletter, or both. So there's more opportunities, and also check through our retail partners as well, because they do have there's a couple hanging around here and there. I saw some at Denali. Iron Pyrite Productions had a couple as well. So look through. Redcast Heritage might. I thought they sold out.
Maybe they did. I don't remember.
Yeah. McKinley Panda says, we love you guys. Well, we love you guys too. And we love hanging out with you guys. And, it's always a pleasure for us to start our weekends this way. There was a question about the Naked and Famous knife that just dropped. Did you guys see that? The selvage denim knife. We didn't get one ourselves.
I should have, because I really liked it. And I was, very involved in the thing up until my departure.
But we have like a drawer full of knives.
We do.
Hold on. Are they in here?
I feel like they were down somewhere here. No, that's not it.
Hold on.
That's not it. This is not it. No. Those are...
I gotta find them, but we do have a ton of them. Oh, you know what? I think they're in the sample box in the room. I'm gonna go get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, show them off. Hold on.
Yeah, that like the denim micarta knife is a beautiful one, and it's very different from any other like release that they did with the knives, higonokami knives, and it's very like special. I know Brandon worked hard on that thing. Like, he always wanted to do it. It took us like years and years to basically just bring it to the to reality. So I'm glad they did it. Do they still have it? Because I do not mind having that one, actually. I'm not a knife person, but yeah, they still have it. If you are not familiar with it, like, go check out Tate Nyoko or Naked and Famous Denim. Just look at the photos on Instagram. It is a beautiful, beautiful, special knife that the handle is made of like sheets of denim, and you can see like all the layers, because it's not flat, handle, like they curve it, so you can see like different layers of the denim fabric stack, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna pull it up for you guys, because it's really nice. And if you're a denim lover, then it's something you will certainly appreciate. So check these out. I mean, you can see just how stacked those layers of denim are, and they got the selvage right in the middle there. So this is available. I think they just came out, so you can get them. But yeah, Risa was working on this a lot, trying to get this one made here in Japan. So yeah, Risa was quite involved in the production.
Yeah, but
of
the
this one.
handle part, the micarta part,
Brandon.
Yeah,
that was all Brandon
in Canada. Oh, I think Canada. Right?
Yeah.
And Brandon had this guy that could just does things like that, and it's a very involved.
Yeah, but we have a bunch of them
process.
Like from our time there, and so we've got the wooden handle one, the VG10 steel, but I also had like a bunch of parts. Because
we did have a bunch of parts, because like the samples sometimes comes without the blade,
right?
Because all we are actually like sampling is the handle. So
yeah, so we've got this one was like, we were testing out like the fadingness of this, so like we scratched that up, and you can see that there's like the brass underneath there.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got that. I don't know where all the parts are. I definitely had a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We've got because we were also like planning on like making different colors. So like we had all the different handle colors. Here's like an original brass one.
Oh, I think.
And then look at the steel on this one. This one's really cool. So yeah, get them when you can because they always look really nice, and they're not the craziest expensive knives out there. Some are more expensive than others for sure, but if you're a knife guy,
the Micarta one is...
Yeah, the Micarta one's a bit priced. It's up there, but it's not the most expensive. I've definitely seen knives like punching way above that price point. So, yeah. Pierre says, "Can we get a Wonder Looper version?" I think we'll let the Naked and Famous guys, take this one on. You know what? Like, I don't like. I don't want to. I don't want to cross the streams, so to speak. We're. I don't know what we can offer differently, even in this realm. Like, I feel like everything that we could have input into the knives, they already have it. So it would just be the same knife with our logo on it. But it's. I don't think that's necessary. Just go get one from them. They got them. They do them good. So
yeah. The milk glass mugs, I feel differently.
I
think we can.
That's a little different because you're paying for a design there.
Yeah.
Anyhow, speaking of mugs, we just got a cool new mug added to the collection.
We went to this flea market in Scotland, and it was the biggest flea market.
It was huge.
Like it was fantastic. So they had like a lot of like just outside space. I mean, they have a lot of land, so they just have like just big spread. Like some like regular people just like they have to pay like a little bit to like park up and like have a car there, but like what was amazing was like outside space, like those like, casual like flea market vendors.
Yeah,
they were just like pull up in their cars and basically dump like all of their like unwanted goods on the ground.
Yeah,
and
like there would be a pile of clothing on the ground,
on the wet ground. Yeah. It was just like that's very not attractive.
I don't mind digging.
Yeah, but
this didn't look like it was worth digging.
And there was
through.
just so many of them too, so it's like you have to be a little selective because you're not there like every day. But so other than that, they have also like more like relatively permanent vendors that are set up inside, like in the like a shipping container kind of things. And there were some good ones, though we weren't able to like buy everything we wanted because it's
sometimes they're too big or
too heavy. It was just like one rolling pin that I really wanted, but it was just like made of entirely of
marble.
Like a marble, like the roll part of it was marble, and it's just like so heavy, but it was fantastic. Yeah. But we found this mug. It is Levi's mug, and they had a bunch of them for like the different years.
Yes.
This is for 1983.
That's my year.
That's his year. Thanks for that year.
Yep.
And it is made in England. It has like a baked in up here. It's hard to show.
So it's a ceramic mug.
Yeah. And I guess they were like making these. They had ones that had like different a 501 logo and stuff like that. So they were probably just like a giveaway or something like that, novelty kind of things. But
I have to say that I'm not really sure what this on time thing is. So maybe if you're from the UK, this might mean something to you. I don't know, but Levi's on time. I just wanted it because it adds to the jeans mugs that I have. I have a Coca-Cola Levi's.
Whatever happened to that?
I think it's at my sister's house.
Oh, okay.
It might be there. I might have left it there, but I have this like Coca-Cola Levi's jeans cup. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But me, I like my branded mugs. So we had to pick that one up.
I think you put this here to show up.
Yeah.
So we actually recently got this in Japan.
Yeah.
But this one is 1984 Olympics.
Yeah.
mug. It's a glass mug.
It's made by Anchor Hawking,
yeah,
which makes Fire King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not Fire King per se branded, but it is the same manufacturer, and it's got like McDonald's logo on it and the American Olympic committee logo and stuff. So I thought it was kind of cool that this, the
and the Olympics are coming back to LA.
Olympics. Yes. So it's
I thought this is pretty cool.
I would drink out of this to watch the Olympic.
There you go. The Moore says 1983 was a very good year. So I hear.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't here.
Yeah, Chris says Wonder Looper times Naked and Famous Club would be one for the history books.
It would happen at some point, I would imagine.
I think there's a good chance of that at some point.
We know some people.
Yeah, I know a guy. Okay. Sorry, Beatty says, Lee Valley has a larger higonokami. I got my brother-in-law one. Lee Valley. I'm not sure what that is. But take Mr. Beatty's word for it.
But yeah, they do make large knives also.
Yeah.
They make all kinds of knives. Yeah. They also make this tiny little one that they once gave us.
Oh, yeah.
Where did it go?
Oh, I have to find that. But yeah, they gave us like a baby
cute.
one.
It's like a gotcha sized knife. Yeah. But it
worked.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Oh, I definitely have to find that. Yeah. That's somewhere around here. BD, sorry, there's a question. Nicholas Vilpu, 1983. Do you identify more with Gen X or Millennial? I'm 1982, and I claim Xennial. I recently heard of the term Xennial, and it's a very small pocket of time. I say, for me, I feel, I don't know, because Xennial also, I don't feel like a millennial. I don't feel like, for me, I've definitely had this topic come across a million times.
What is the definition? Like, what's the
I don't know.
line?
My definition is, if you grew up on the internet, you're a millennial. Mm-hmm. I find the Xennial people are sort of the people who are the in-between, right? Because when I was in school, there was no internet. We might have had computer labs, but there was no, we didn't have wide-scale internet until, literally the end of high school is when my high school had an internet connection. So if you wanted to do a book report or an essay or something, you had to go to the library, you had to open up the book, you had to look it up yourself, right?
The problem with these kind of things, according to my internet, it's just Gen X is between 1965 and 1980. Right. And then millennials, 1981 to 1994 or 6.
Yeah, but if you were born in 94, it's a very different experience than being born in 1981.
But so is, you don't necessarily relate to people who were born in the 60s either.
Right. So it's weird. So, my brother was born on 1980, and,
Oh, yeah. So,
you know what I mean?
Technically, he's a different generation.
But you know what I mean? I grew up with my brother. Right. So, exactly. We watched this, we went and experienced a lot, he's my older brother. We went and did things together. So, it's,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just also depends on that's a great example because maybe technically he's a Gen Xer, but he's probably more like millennials in the way that he grew up with you. But if you have a younger siblings or older siblings, your experience is different. And
yeah, I just feel like I really I would say growing up. As I grew up in the type of media I consumed, I felt a little bit more like that sort of slacker generation. There was a little bit more of an angstiness with us and sort of a I don't care attitude that I really still hold on to. Words like poser and, keep sort of a real chase for authenticity, right? I just remember feeling a certain way about, say, a musical act being in a commercial, right? Or you having their music in a commercial. And, that sort of felt wrong in a lot of ways. And, I would say that probably people younger than me could not care less about that kind of stuff. And, or just I would say that if you had to hand in essays in high school on paper, handwritten, you're probably more leaning towards Gen X than you are leaning towards Millennial.
But see, like, it's a different aspect. Like, you kind of, like, yes, I think there's a big difference between, like, growing up having access to, like, you know, internet versus growing up mostly without access to the internet. But also, we never, like, our, you know, like we didn't, like, start our like career without the computers, you know. I mean?
That's true.
So that's also a big difference too.
Like I do understand, like Xennial does seem appropriate in some ways because that is a small like gap of people who are like with and without. Yeah. So you are the last generation without internet, and you also were there for sort of the explosion of it.
Right.
That's
true.
Cathedral Ring is the line is where you had a grunge phase. If you did, then Gen X. If you didn't, then Millennial. Oh yeah, there was a lot of grunge in my youth. Grunge, and I dipped into goth land for a while. Ended up in Raverland, which is I think that the transition was kind of interesting, but you can kind of see that. It's like you see those techno goths. I never became a techno goth, but I went from wearing a lot of black clothing and being moody to wearing a lot of bright and colorful clothing. I think it was mostly just a cry for attention. That was probably it. Nicholas Villepou says, kids these days will never know the pain of using Napster with a dial-up modem. Kids these days will never have to, like... They'll never have to know about going on IRC to find wares sites and like trying to, find.
They never ever have to like meet up with anybody without like having access to them.
Right.
Entire communication line. Yeah. I remember the times where like you had to either show up there or. If they don't show up, it's like you're just waiting, wondering what the other person is up to because you just have no idea. There's no way of telling.
Meet me at the library at 4. Okay, I'll be there. And then you're at the library at 4, and you're like, it's 4:45. Are they coming? Are they late? What's going on here? I don't know because I can't call them because they don't have a cell phone.
But see, like, I feel like, you know, because we did, you know, as a child, we also, like, go out and meet people. And so I remember having to do that. And that's you know, that's part of my experience. But I also, like, when I started driving, we already had internet, so like we had MapQuest, and like I didn't have to know where I'm like I didn't have to look at the physical map to drive anywhere. So like that is I also feel like it's a big difference in like, you know, because like my parents' generation, like they had to know the roads.
Yeah.
Like I don't know the roads. Like, you know.
In high school, me and my friends, we would do is we would go to Toronto, and what we would do is we'd get on the subway, we'd stop at a random stop, get on a random bus, go to a random amount of stops, and then our goal was to try and find our way back. And like literally that's how I learned most of Toronto. It's just by like, I don't know the street names of nothing. I'm just like, walk 3 blocks this way and like I know where I am. Like but that's how I did it. But now it's just like, oh yeah, look at my phone, which way are we going? Like
like it would give me a like anxiety attack if I didn't know exactly where I'm going today. But like that's how it was.
Jeremy Sims, RIP MapQuest. I think they're still around. They got to be. What a godsend MapQuest was.
Oh my god, I would just put it on my street, print it out, and put it on my
We should have a shrine to MapQuest. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of people. Yeah. How do you get somewhere? MapQuest was the way. They give you the full directions. Turn right over here, but if you missed, you know, you get the list of like how to get somewhere on the highway. It's just like if you missed that exit, I'm like, where do we go from here? Who knows?
Let's go back. America. Well, you know, I learned how to drive in MapQuest in America, but like I don't think I could have done that in Japan. But in America, all the roads are so simple. You go on the freeway, there's an exit, and if you miss it, you just turn around, and then there's another, like it's basically the same exit exists on both sides. It's so simple.
All right. Well, there you have it. David Robinson, are we trying to summon the Metallica drummer with the Napster reference? LOL. Yeah, Lars Ulrich. You wouldn't download a car, would you? Apparently, those commercials, they're the antivirus commercials. Apparently, they pirated the font.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
you would. I guess you would download a car, huh? To be fair, if you could 3D print a car, I would download a car. I would do it. Nothing would stop me. D Kong, if you bought an AOL CD to sign up for the internet, you are Gen X. Let me do you one better. The 3.5-inch floppy AOL discs.
I remember that.
Those would
but I didn't buy it myself.
See.
I think my parents bought it.
So there was this newspaper around the Greater Toronto area called the Computer Paper. And it was just like this little newspaper that you would get at the library, and it was free, and it would come with an AOL diskette inside. 25 free hours.
What's a diskette?
Like a disc, the 3.5-inch, floppy disk. And what I would do, I would always get the computer paper because, all kinds of computer news, and then it would have like BBS numbers in the back. Go online games and that crap. But what I would do is I would open up all the newspapers and I would get like a bunch of discs because I would just take them home, format them, and then I had like 50 blank floppy disks. Now I have unlimited storage. I mean,
of kilobytes.
Yeah, once you have 50 disks, I'm like, do you even need more than that? 50 megabytes of data there, double density. Kids don't even know. Let me put it to you this way. If you can identify what the save icon is, if you know what that is.
Like when somebody brought that up to me, that people, kids, the younger people than me do not know why that looks like that. I was like, oh my God, that's just such a, Anyways. But, to be fair, floppy disk was kind of a... They stayed longer around than they should have.
Yeah, maybe. Really. Into the end of high school, we still had, like, it was required that we all had a floppy disk. That was like, it was unacceptable for you not be able to save something.
Interesting.
Yeah,
we didn't even have to take computer classes. I took one, but we didn't.
Oh yeah, we had computer class. They didn't always have internet, but we had computer class. I remember. In high school, we still had some like 286s like rolling around, and we were doing programming lessons on them. And I just remember being like, "Why are we learning programming on this thing?" BD says hackers would have been 5,000% less cool without diskettes. Hack the planet. That's right. Razor and Blade, they know what's up. Hack the planet. One of my favorite movies. Hackers, by the way. You were
watching it like just the other day.
I love that movie. I love it so much. Lord Nikon, anyhow, Mr. the Plague. I know all the references. Nicholas Philpoo, you used to be able to make a Windows XP installer using floppy disks. That was a lot of disks. Oh man, if you're trying to install Windows XP with floppy,
how many floppies?
That's got to be like 50 floppies or more.
What's the biggest floppy disk storage?
Well, floppy disks, they peaked out at 1.4 megabytes. Then there were like other formats like super disk and zip disk. Like if you had a super disk, I think those were like 100 megabytes. And zip disks, I don't even remember what zips went up to. Maybe like 700 megabytes. Might have been more like a CD.
That's pretty good.
Those are pretty good. But most people didn't have either a super disk or a zip disk. So yeah. Anyhow, there's some.
It's just like the one thing I would close this topic on is that today there are still people who uses fax machines, like day to day.
Yes, in Japan.
Yes.
Very common still.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say common to be fair, but there are still people, just regular people. Not like 80-year-olds, but like, 50-year-olds.
Right. But Japan has this weird thing where they because there's such an elderly population here, sometimes certain things take forever to die. Like you can go to the electronics store today And there will be laptops with the VGA cable output.
Oh, a lot of them.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
With the not HDMI. They'll probably also have an HDMI,
Right,
but there will definitely be the VGA output on a laptop. You haven't seen that in a long time, my friends, but it's still there. And I'm just like, why? Like, what are you trying to connect this to? You know what I mean? You have the money to buy a new laptop, but you don't have the money to buy a new projector in the last 20 years, right? Like, which projector, which monitor are you still trying to connect this to? Okay? I just don't. There's probably somebody out there who's like, man, because I know sometimes with old systems, you just need to maintain the old system. You just need to do it, and I get that there is a very niche market for that, but enough that at the electronics store today in Japan, major ones, you will find multiple laptops with VGA outputs on them. Anyhow, interesting for me. It is. I like it. I like it. I just find it. I like it mostly because I find it interesting. But yeah. BD says faxing daily at your local Canadian public library.
Oh.
All right.
Really?
Well, there you go.
All right.
Yeah.
To be fair, even in Canada when we worked at Negative Famous, they were still using fax machine for business.
Yeah.
Not every day, but.
Yeah, lawyers and medical places use it more secure than email. I suppose that is true.
That is true.
And I've seen these things on like these old like American like nuclear bases where they're using like the 5.5-inch floppies for the nuclear codes. So it's like if you want to launch that missile, you got to put this thing in, and like the computer system's from like 1977, and it's like, why do you still use that? And like people are making fun of it. I'm like, because that thing is secure as hell. There's no internet on that thing. There's no hacking into the system because this is connected to nothing.
If that's a conscious decision, it's great.
Yeah.
But I feel like when we're just, like having, business communications that are not like of national security, I think we should be able to use emails nowadays.
Yeah. Nicholas says, my father-in-law's business lives and dies by the fax machine, but at least it's all digital. Yeah. But yeah, it's still here, man, it's very normal. They're like, what's your fax number? I'm like, here's my email address.
We don't even have a landline.
Yeah, I'm not interested. Okay. With that said, that wraps up this portion of the Wonder Looper live stream. A lot of chats, a lot of discussions, a lot of little bits of everything, but we're headed into snack time right now. We brought a little treat from Scotland, which translates to the land of Scots.
Not. We didn't meet anybody named Scott.
Yes, that's true. Not too many people named Scott. We didn't run into too many people, none in fact, named Scott in Scotland. I would imagine there would have been more, but you know what? What do I know?
Okay, so this is a weird, interesting little thing that I picked up at like a chocolate store, confectionery store.
How do you say snack time in Japanese?
Snack time.
There you go. Snack time.
I am with the math, so okashi time.
Okashi time.
Yeah.
Time.
Okay. So we did the iron brew.
Let me get an iron brew.
Okay. Iron brew, for those of you who don't know, is a Scottish soda. Apparently in Scotland, like, it outsells Coca-Cola. I don't know how true that is, but Iron Brew is a pride of Scottish people, apparently.
Yeah. This is their soda. This is the soda from Scotland. This is Scotland in a can. So we've got the Iron Brew. Now, we've got Iron Brew in another form.
Iron Brew flavored macaroon. I don't know if this... It also looks, the orange is the same color as the drink. So not only the can, but like inside the liquid is orange and it has that color. So I would suspect that this is not the most delicious snack, but I thought it might be fun to
Yes.
bring back a little piece of Scotland.
I have zero idea what to expect, and we're gonna rate this on the kilt scale. Okay.
Okay. What does that mean?
6 kilts is the best.
6 is the
Yeah,
best?
this is the kilt scale. I like switching up the scales now. Just
Because it's hard to maintain
Yeah.
the similar. I'm
Yeah.
only gonna cut a little bit
Yeah.
just to see. It's just gonna cut it like this first, and then I'm gonna cut it into little pieces.
okay. It smells.
Wait, are you gonna eat the whole thing?
No, I'm just saying it smells soda-y already. It does smell like the soda. Which how can I explain? Careful. Sorry. I just okay. Yeah, look at that.
It's just kind of.
I don't know what to expect. Okay, but we're gonna try it.
Yes. I'm gonna eat half.
I mean, it's fudge, but it's very sweet. It has a
It
a
does have
spice taste to it.
It does have a little bit of that orangey, like I don't know if it's orange, but like a little citrusy flavor that the soda have.
Is this coconut on the outside?
I think so.
It's fine. The coconut's
Also,
fine.
one thing I learned that they call like these kind of fudge tablets.
Okay.
They have tablets and fudges, and I asked for the difference between those two, and they said that like fudge is basically fudge as we understand it, but tablets are a little bit more like a powdery, like a little bit less chewy.
Yeah, this is not chewy.
I've never heard that word tablet. Did
Right.
American people use that?
I don't know. This is weird. If you've ever had a Bounty bar, that's a coconut bar. Like the outside tastes like a Bounty, but the inside is just pure sugar with.
It's way too much sugar.
I don't know. It's weird. It has the taste of iron brew, which I don't even know how to explain it.
It's just like I don't know.
It's like trying to explain what bubblegum flavor tastes like. Like I cannot explain it really. It's its own unique flavor. It's not quite sour. A little citrus, a little bit of spice in there.
A lot of sugar in there.
I'm gonna go with if you ate a little bit with tea, like a little bit with tea, it's probably fine. But like you only cut off like that much, and like that's
That's
lot.
enough. Yeah.
This is getting a 2.5 kilts. 2.5 kilts out of 6.
Go with 2, but that might be a little harsh.
It's just too sugary for me. That's what it is.
It's also not the best way to consume sugar.
Maybe.
You know, there's a better way.
Yeah. It was a good effort, and I think it definitely. I mean, you know, if you're gonna make look, I like the effort. I like the creativity there.
I wish they had a smaller package.
Yeah, top marks for that. Yeah, smaller package. Like I don't know how we're gonna eat all this.
No,
this is
it's
maybe we
not
won't get all
gonna be,
consumed
yeah.
ourselves. But as far as what iron brew is, I cannot exactly tell you. I would encourage you to just go and find some. I'm sure you can find it.
But like, you know, even within Iron Brew, we tried this, like, you know, the
This is the original
recipe
Yeah.
flavor, but there's different versions, I
Yeah.
guess. So, you know, maybe there's slight differences. But it's like when you drink it, it's not like something that you haven't tasted before. You know?
I don't know. Here,
know
I'm
what
gonna
I
open
mean?
this one up. I'm gonna give it one more. I'm gonna give it a taste. I tasted the candy. Let's taste the soda. Refresh
It's just like
myself.
it's not like a super unique flavor, but you can't really put a finger on it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're not gonna go like, oh, I've never had soda like this.
Yeah, pour some out in there. I can show the people, right? So it's really orange. It's like, but yeah, I don't know. I can't put my can't put my finger on it. Go and find some. You'll see for yourself. It's like bubble gum. It's good, but I don't know what bubble gum tastes like. Bubble gum tastes like bubble gum. Iron brew tastes like iron brew, and that's sort of it. How many kilts does the drink get? I'm gonna give it 4 kilts out of 6.
I was gonna say 3.5.
Yeah.
It's
so there you go.
Much better than the snack we just ate.
Yeah, this is far less sugary than the snack. The snack is it's just too much sugar.
It's just
Concentrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go, everybody. Another Wonder Looper live stream here in the books. Snack time completed. We talked about it all. We're going to talk about it again next week. More discussions. Hopefully some more previews. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. Maybe a guest. Who knows? But you know who's going to know? You's going to know. If you tune in right here again next week, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Wonder Looper live stream, broadcasting live from Yokohama, Japan. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out and do something nice for yourselves. Do something nice for somebody else, and send some positive vibrations my way in hopes that I find my lost wallet. So, we'll see you guys again real soon. We had a lot of fun. All right?
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Have a nice weekend.